Public Improvement Commission hearing of October 18th, 2018. Our first item is to note that the hearing minutes of our previous PIC meeting of October 4th were reviewed and approved by the PIC staff. Our first public hearing item is on a set of joint petitions by Old Colony 3, A4 Limited Partnership, Old Colony Phase 3, A9 Limited Partnership, and the Boston Housing Authority for the acceptance of pedestrian easements adjacent to the following public ways in South Boston. Reverend Richard A. Burke Street on its northeasterly side at address number 20 between Dorchester Street and Patterson Way. East 9th Street on both sides between Dorchester Street and Patterson Way. This was new business on October 4th, 2018. This is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Pedestrian Easement Plan, Reverend Richard A. Burke Street, East 9th Street, South Boston, 2 sheets dated September 24th, 2018. Good morning.
Good morning. Is this on? Yeah. Hi there. I'm Darcy Jameson with Beacon Communities Development. We're the developer of Old Colony in partnership with the Boston Housing Authority. Dean Papadimitriou.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself this morning. Dean Papadimitriou from the Council to the Boston Housing Authority. And I can say something in a moment after Darcy's introduction.
So, as I said, I think last time I was here, it's sort of like Groundhog Day since we're here on our third phase and really appreciate the city's ongoing support. I think as folks know, Old Colony Phase 3A was funded by DHCD in the last funding round, and so we are quickly moving into closing mode and appreciate that everyone's helping us stay on track and rounding out documentation.
Very good. And I just want to give a little background, just a moment. Old Colony was a traditional public housing site in South Boston. We successfully redeveloped 2 phases, Phase 1 and Phase 2, about 7 or 8 years ago. And we're now finally have gotten enough funding to move forward with Phase 3. So this project, we're really happy that we're moving forward. We're making some progress on it, and we're trying to use the funding that we're receiving in a appropriate way. Thank you for your support of this project.
Good morning, John Schmidt with Niche Engineering. And just to remind everyone, this is the overall Old Colony site. Phase 1 and 2 was completed in the past 10 years. Phase 3A, which is before us today, is this section right here. Our application is to do specific repairs and pedestrian easement along Reverend Burke, as well as East 9th Street, and specific repairs on Patterson Way. The first item on the agenda is the pedestrian easements. The purpose of the pedestrian easement is to provide 5 foot wide, unimpeded, accessible concrete sidewalk access to the public on East 9th Street as well as on Reverend Burke Street. We will be installing planting street trees that require 3 feet of sidewalk. And so then beyond the street tree, we have 5 feet of concrete sidewalk. And the easements run along the length of the parcel that is owned by the BHA.
This was about 8 feet in length between the building face and the curb, basically trees.
8 feet from the back of sidewalk to the curb face.
Okay. Questions or comments about the pedestrian easement? Todd? All right. Members of the public? All right. I'll entertain a motion on the pedestrian easements.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'm sorry. I'll make a motion on a petition by Old Colony Phase 3A4 Limited Partnership for pedestrian easements on Reverend Richard A. Burke Street and East 9th Street, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Pedestrian Easement Plan, Reverend Richard A. Burke Street, East 9th Street, South Boston, 2 sheets, dated September 24th, 2018.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Moving on to our next item, on a set of joint petitions by Old Colony Phase 3A4 Limited Partnership, Old Colony Phase 3A9 Limited Partnership, and the Boston Housing Authority for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in South Boston, consisting of curb, sidewalk, and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated street trees, street lighting, infrastructure, landscaping, irrigation infrastructure, and driveway curb cuts. This was new business on October 4th, 2018. The locations are Reverend Richard A. Burke Street on its northeasterly side at address number 20 between Dorchester Street and Patterson Way, East 9th Street on both sides between Dorchester Street and Patterson Way, and Patterson Way on its northwesterly side between Reverend Richard A. Burke Street and East 8th Street. This is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan, Patterson Way, Reverend Richard A. Burke Street, East 9th Street, Boston, 4 sheets dated September 2018.
Good morning, John Schmidt with Niche Engineering. So I'd like to start in Patterson Way between East 8th Street and East 9th Street. We are maintaining the curb line. We are maintaining the concrete sidewalk width. The purpose for this specific repair request is we are installing new street lights that will reflect the street lights that were installed in phase 1 and 2 to carry the aesthetic through the development. And then we're also installing a number of handicap ramps to provide safe and accessible access. The second street we'll speak to is Reverend Richard Burke between Dorchester Street and Patterson Way. Here we are installing new concrete sidewalks, new public street trees, and new street lights. And again, the sidewalk will provide at least a minimum 5-foot wide accessible access as approved by the easement petition that was just approved upon. And the final application, the final street is East 9th Street, where we are essentially reconstructing the street on both sides. The new street trees, new sidewalks, new street trees, new sidewalks, new street lights, and accessible pathways and crosswalks.
One thing which is not on the specific repair plan is bike accommodation. It seems like, is there other bike racks within the development, or yes?
Yeah, we'll building all the city of Boston and meet requirements for bike storage. And then a lot of our ground floor apartments have backyards. We actually put little bike loops in just so people don't have to be hauling their bikes in and out.
And to address some of the issues that Mr. Hesford raised at the last hearing, the TAPA is in review with the BTD. The CMP is also in review with the BTD. And we will, and to address Mr. J. Singh's concerns, we will send out notifications to the utility providers when the work is about to begin, so there's no surprises a year from now.
If we can be helpful with that last piece, just let us know. We're happy to blast it out.
Yeah, I will confirm with Todd before we do that to make sure we're sending it to the proper folks.
Other questions or comments on the specific repair plan? Tom? All right, members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion on the specific repair plan.
I'll make a motion to approve a set of joint petitions by Old Colony Phase 3 A4 Limited Partnership, Old Colony Phase 3 A9 Limited Partnership, and the Boston Housing Authority for the making of specific repairs, as read into the record by the chair and as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan, Patterson Way, Reverend Richard A. Burke Street, East 9th Street, Boston, 4 sheets dated September 2018.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you so much. Thank you for your work on this project. Moving on to new business. Our first item is 112 Shawmut Avenue, Harold Street, Boston proper. Pedestrian easements on a petition by DIV Shawmut LLC.
Morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. This is your second Groundhog Day project of the morning. We've been here for the last 2 meetings of the Public Improvement Commission on this project. I'm Rebecca Lee from MITS, and to my left is Rick Lattini from Howard Stein Hudson. You may recall that 2 weeks ago the Commission approved specific repairs for this new residential building with an old building facade on the corner of Harold and Shawmut in the South End neighborhood. At that time, we came to you with a late request from the South End Landmark District Commission for the addition of 2 street trees on Harold Street, which in this stretch, as you may know, is completely bereft of trees, but I guess we're starting a trend. And so in order to accommodate those and provide appropriate accessibility, we are needing to give to the city a pedestrian easement in two very small areas adjacent to the building. So we are here to show you the easement plan and where the trees are in relation to where the trees are to be located, and seeking your request to grant the city this pedestrian easement.
Good morning, Rick Latini. I'll be really brief. I mean, we're talking about 9 square foot easements here. We were just a little bit shy on the 5-foot pedestrian path with the street trees, but we found 2 notches in the building where we were able to provide a 5-foot 2-inch path. So that's basically 8-inch by 13-foot easements that are in front of you, and 2 street trees, the same ones, same type that we're planting on 112 Shawmut that were approved by Parks.
Can you refresh my memory on when we did specific repairs? That is that pervious strip, right, you have? Is that what you're showing?
Yep, this permeable paver strip on both Herald and Shawmut, correct?
All right, so the trees have a chance at living.
Yes.
Excellent.
We'll get warranties on it.
All right.
Other questions on the pedestrian easement? Okay. Todd? Members of the public? All right. See you guys in 2 weeks on November 1st? All right, until then. Thanks so much. Our final item of new business is 125 Amory Street, Roxbury, pedestrian easement, specific repairs on a set of joint petitions by New 125 Amory Street, LLC, and the Boston Housing Authority.
This is just headings.
Hi there. I'm Lindsay Gale, project manager with the Community Builders, the development partner with the BHA on 125 Amory.
Hi, I'm Juan Torres, project associate with the Community Builders.
Dean Pepper, Mutual Counsel to the Boston Housing Authority.
Good morning, John Schmidt with Niche Engineering.
So 125 Amory Street is a 6-story, 199-unit, deeply affordable senior and disabled housing property that's currently owned and operated by the Boston Housing Authority. TCB has been selected as a developer in partnership with 2 other nonprofits to renovate 125 Amory Street. It's a 6-acre property, so 125 Amory building takes up one portion of it. The remainder is an underutilized site. This is the renovation of 125 Amory is the first phase of a larger master planning effort that will provide new buildings on the surrounding site. So what we're talking about today is just the renovation of 125 Amory Street.
So you've probably seen me up here a lot recently. The Boston Housing Authority has been pretty busy this fall with quite a few projects. And what it's an indication of is that in the past, many of our properties have been underfunded. It's been very difficult for us to make improvements to them. And now suddenly we're exploring new funding sources, some provided by HUD, some provided by the state, and we're able to come forward with designated developers to redevelop some of our properties. Amory Street, it's an important property in the Jamaica Plain, Roxbury neighborhood. Quite a few elders and disabled people living in that property. This project will allow them to remain living in that property, and then we'll also be building new housing eventually, not in this phase, but in future phases, to help promote the mayor's agenda of building new housing in Boston. And so we think this is an important project, and we appreciate your support on this.
Can you flag, which of the new buildings and which of the existing are John?
Sure. Allow me to walk through this. This is the overall master plan. 125 is the existing building that's about to undergo the rehab work this fall. This is a base building which is existing, which serves as adult daycare. Serves as the adult daycare center. These buildings here, building A, B, and C, they're new multifamily. When we started this process, we did a notification to all the utilities and agencies treating this as one project. We're actually pulling out the Amory Street rehab work sooner than later so we can start that construction this fall. But after the first of the year, we will be back here will be laying out these streets here as private ways. So they will be laid out as private ways. They will be maintained and remain private ways. In speaking to the application before us, we are maintaining the existing curb line, and we're proposing this work really just between the existing, within the limits of work, between the proposed private ways. When we come back and permit the rest of the project, we will capture the rest of Amory Street. But the work that's before us today will provide a 6-foot wide pervious paver with new street trees, new street lights, and then 8-foot wide sidewalk. That sidewalk, 1 feet of that sidewalk is an existing public way. There'll be an easement for 5 feet to provide 6 feet of pedestrian access, and that will remain 2 feet will remain on private property. It's, you know, it complies with the Clay Street guidelines. It's pretty straightforward.
Going back to sort of the master plan, which I realize is not we're connecting out to Atherton and over to the Southwest Corridor. Is that part of the plan, or is it?
This is, yeah, and this line is also, there's MassDOT, but MBTA owns some land, so there's some land coordination, easement, cross easements, things like that. And that's one of the things that's, there's a lot of legalities behind it, so it's one of the things that's helping to slow the process down than it would if it was owned outrightly. And we also, this building, we anticipate this building to start construction next spring. And you may be familiar with the fire department project that's going on. The fire department's going to have a temporary facility here. So there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle. But we're all coordinating with each other and doing the best we can to make sure things move forward.
So those connections to the Southwest Corridor to the west and then north of Jackson Square, things we just want to make sure that are that are good in the plan.
This piece here?
Yes.
Yeah, that is not part of this application, but it is something everyone's aware of. That the hope is to connect those two.
Where are the train tracks in that? Are they behind the?
They're back here.
Yeah, they're back there. Okay.
The tracks are back here.
All right, and that fire station is in between
The temporary fire station, which is really going to be a
tent and trailer.
it's going to fall right in here.
Okay.
So what we anticipate is we're going to permit everything, but when we build this building here, we can only build a private way to some point here and to provide some temporary means of egress out of there.
Okay. So and that's a road behind there.
This is going to be a private way.
Yeah.
Yep. Similar to what we're doing at Jackson Square, which we hope to be back to you before the holidays.
So the ped easement 5 feet, the resulting, I didn't cover this, John, but what's the resulting width of the sidewalk?
The width of the overall sidewalk is 8 feet. 6 feet of that is dedicated to public access.
Can you walk us through the specific repairs?
Sure. So we'll have the construction of the new sidewalk in front of the building. It will be 8 feet wide, 5 feet public access, 2 feet privately owned. Within the public way, we have, excuse me, I'm looking for my notes here. We have 4 new streetlights, 5 new street trees. 2 trees will remain and protected, and then we have a bike rack for serving 6. I know that Mr. Nelson raised a question about the bike rack. And before we come back from the public hearing, we'll vet that through the commission to make sure this is the appropriate rack for this use.
Yeah, I just want to know from Public Works if they have a style that prefer, or do we want to standardize? Do we not? Does it not matter?
I don't. Historically, it hasn't really mattered as long as the project is able and willing to maintain these bike racks. Then we are considerably more flexible style. We don't have to meet the city standard. So.
Yeah, I reviewed so many plans with so many different styles. I just wanted to know what the preference was.
Okay.
Thank you for providing them.
We can connect with John Monticelli on the active transportation team has sort of created a siting standard for the bike racks that the city is installing. So
okay.
We can certainly connect with.
Okay.
For what it's worth, we also typically allow for a non-standard bike racks because projects like, you know, a little bit of a personal flavor to their streetscape. So
Some flair.
a few pieces of flair.
Very good.
question or comments on either the music repairs or the vegetable? Tom? Scott? Members of the public? All right. Then we'll see you guys on November 1st. Does that work?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved.